Hi, thanks for coming. Today I'm going to talk about mindfulness, meditation, samadhi, self-realization, and show that there's a difference between those things. Mindfulness is a term that's used by Buddhists. And the ability to be mindful is to watch events without interjecting other thoughts. And I'll give an example. Okay, you're eating breakfast and you're thinking about going to work. So mindfulness would say, no, that's not the right attitude. What you have to do is pay attention to your eating of the breakfast, how the food tastes and all the other stuff. And yes, that is a technique. And I will go into, from the perception of yoga, what they think about that. One of the statements the Buddha said is that desires cause pain. So people like Eckhart Tolle say, okay, we shouldn't be interjecting desires into this stuff. And that one way to reduce the amount of desires is to have the stream of consciousness. Yes, that does help. The mistake that people like that make is that they say, okay, to have the stream of consciousness is to be in samadhi, or the end goal. And that's not even partially there. Let me read to you on page 54, for those of you that know. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry, let me give you a warning. Could be very boring for people that haven't got an interest in this. So I'm not going to feel upset if you go and leave. Okay, so here's Eckhart Tolle on page 54. From Descartes' error to Sartre's insight. He talks about Descartes, whose famous dictum was, I think, therefore I am. This was the answer he found to the question, is there anything I can know with absolute certainty? Well, yes, you can think. But does that necessarily prove who you are? He realized that the fact that he was always thinking was beyond doubt, and so he equated thinking with being. That is to say, identity. I am with thinking. Instead of the ultimate truth, he had found the root of the ego, but he didn't know that. And so this is going back to the Buddhist conception of desire, leading to pain. And so the Buddha's teaching was how to get rid of pain. And people misinterpret that if you get rid of desire, you'll get rid of pain. Well, Let me tell you what Swami Satchidananda, my own guru, says in his book. His question is, on page 25, is it possible to be desireless? No, actually it is not possible, he goes on to say. As long as the mind is there, its duty is to desire. It seems to be contradictory. But the secret is that any desire without personal selfish motive will never bind you. Okay, we'll go over that in just a minute. Let me go back a little bit. Okay, so he's talking about practice of meditation, of yoga. Practice becomes firmly grounded when well attended to for a long time without break and in all earnestness. But this is what the Buddhists talk about. The consciousness of self-mastery in one who is free from the craving for objects seen or heard is non-attachment. So here is a 2,500-year-old definition of non-attachment. And then he goes on, is it possible to be desireless? So really, what really is happening here is desire is necessary to be alive. The real trick is to not be attached to the desire. See, I desired to make this video. I did all the things that are required to make it happen. But my point in making it is to help people that this issue has come up a number of times. So if somehow I'm prevented from making this video, what it means is I still may have the desire, but the universe thought it was better just for me to spend my time on something else. So this is what Satchidananda meant when he said, the desire doesn't bind you. The worst that could happen if I don't make this video is that I spend my time doing something else. And if you couple this with Shivananda's English mantra, which is, do good, be good, love, serve, meditate, realize. Doing good never binds. Of course, you always have to go through and determine, oh, what I'm doing is really helping. I mean, if you do that, you decide, well, no, I'm not helping, then there's always something else to do. So that portion that I read about non-attachment is exactly the same definition of mindfulness. You're not attached to the passing scenery of the mind. But if you look in the book on Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, that's only in the first chapter. So it's all right to do what Eckhart Tolle says, as long as you understand that's really only the first couple of rungs on the ladder of self-realization. Meditation so really what that exercise that he talks about is really just a concentration exercise. It takes effort to make the mind just watch things. But the next step, and that's called dhyana. The next step is called dharana, which is meditation proper. And that's the raising in the thought. So you're actually in control and you're making a thought. So you're making a mantra. You're doing Om Mani Padme Hum. Now, if you do that out loud, then it's possible for you to be thinking, oh, I wonder what I'm going to wear tomorrow. Om Mani Padme Hum. Oh, maybe I'll meet somebody tomorrow. Om Mani Padme Hum. Saying the mantra out loud is not as much control as saying it subvocally, like Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, or silently. By this time, you've left mindfulness way behind. When you do the mantra long enough, there's a saying, oh, first you do the mantra, and then the mantra does you. So the next statement is Samadhi. Meditation in the fullness of times becomes Samadhi. And all of a sudden something unusual happens. And Samadhi can be compared to a laser as opposed to ordinary light. The definition of Samadhi is the observer, the act of observation, and the thing observed become one and the same thing. Well, just to go back for a moment and talk about the passing of thoughts in front of your mind. Here's one object passing. Samadhi says, now it doesn't pass. It's just staying in front of you. And as you look at it, you get drawn closer and closer to it until you and the pen become the same thing. So the action of the mind actually stops. That's the definition of Samadhi. The mind isn't present, so you can't be seeing anything. Once you go into Samadhi, you can develop special abilities. Mindfulness can never approach this. The ability to have what's called cities is really very far away from the shore of mindfulness. You're out in the deep ocean. Samadhi is only halfway there. The ability to have cities once you understand the process of samadhi, is to apply that process of samadhi that you used on yourself now to use on other parts of reality. So you can actually affect the waking dream we call reality. And it's rather easy to do. So much so that there's always been an attempt to hide this. Because this is like giving a loaded gun to a young child without real education about the consequences. So, one of the debates I had with myself in the last couple of weeks is, should I really say this? And I concluded that I should, because I'm making the case. So I haven't said anything in the description. This has only been for people that's come this far. Patanjali talks about, in the third chapter after Samadhi, that you then develop a number of cities. My own guru talked about that. One of the things he did say, though, is don't go after them. Okay, so this is a guy that was speaking from experience. He used to be a great healer in Sri Lanka. But one of the things he realized, just like Swami Shivananda did, who was a doctor, by the way, is that this was a distraction from the state of self-realization. So, my conclusion is that, well, yes, you should be developing these powers. They bring trouble. You still should do it. Trouble in the sense that it distracts you. But that's the story of the Gayatri Mantra. The secret of the Gayatri Mantra is that it makes all these powers awake within you. But we're in a time period when all these things are coming forward. It's in the book by Sri Yakaswar called The Holy Science. Even Yogananda was not immune to all of this. Anyway, the point of all this is that there is a small number of people that will see this and will realize the importance of what's being said and understand that they could have this. And those are the people I'd like to talk to. So that's my message. Yogananda said it best. He says, I like spiritual souls. I don't like crowds, but I love crowds of spiritual souls. Anyway, that's my invitation. You can contact me if you wish. Thank you.